Good morning, team. Today we're going to be checking over your observations and inferences. Hopefully you've already watched the My Dad's an Alien little video. It was really funny. The little girl makes a claim that her dad's an alien and supports it with all kinds of evidence. She did leave out her reasoning though, so remember that reasoning is, why do you think your evidence supports your claim? So reasoning is the answer to this question. Why do you think your evidence supports your claim? All right, so moving on to our PDF, it says, number 3 says, type your name at the top, read the purpose and directions, analyze the picture. Then you're gonna write a detailed account of what happened in the cartoon based on what you see. And then you'll complete numbers 1 through 5 on page 2, reading each prompt carefully and following the directions precisely. We're gonna take a picture of our account on page 1 and answers on page 2 for full credit. So once again, I'm going to show you how to open this up. All right, let's go. I'm going to make sure and put my name on here. So Shaf, oops. Ooh, that pen is going to be way too thick to write with. Maybe I can change its color thickness. Oh, there we go. All right. So when I look at this picture, to write my account, I see some hairy legs. And since a lot of girls shave their legs and most men don't, I'm assuming that's a dude. I see some broken glasses. I see a box with the chin-up bar set, so it must be brand new, is what I'm inferring. So notice the difference between an observation is what I see, hairy legs, and what do I infer? He's a man. What do I see? Broken glasses or bent glasses. What do I infer? That he's visually impaired. What do I see? A box. What do I infer? That the chin-up bar is new. What do I see? A broken header above his door frame there. And I also see him lying down. So my inference is that he's injured and hurt. So I'm going to make an account. Judging by the size of his feet, I'm assuming he's at least a teenager. A grown male, injured himself. I'm going to put probably a concussion. Probably concussed. Because he's still lying on the ground. Oops. Back. When he was trying out his new chin-up bar. Yikes. Reread the account you wrote, underline all observations once, and underline twice all of the inferences. I'm going to change colors for this so that it stands out a little bit. A grown male injured himself, probably concussed, when he was trying out his new chin-up bar. So inferences are underlined twice. Inferences twice. And then observation once. So actually, none of these things I can actually underline for observation except for chin-up bar. There is a chin-up bar in the picture, but the rest of it is an inference because I don't actually know if he's a grown male because I can't talk to him or see more of him. Could just be a hairy-legged woman. I don't actually know that he's injured because he could just be taking a nap. I don't know that he's concussed, kind of same reasoning. And when he was trying out his new, I don't know that this is new. He could just be messy and leave his box out forever and ever, or maybe he stores it in his box when he's not using it. All right, so reread the account you wrote. Mark qualitative observations with the abbreviation adjective. Mark quantitative observation with the with pound sign. So I'm going to switch to a different color on this just because I can. That's awesome. All right, so quantitative is pound number sign, and qualitative is adjective. Okay. Quantitative means numbers, qualitative means descriptions, so that goes with the adjectives and numbers really well. So a grown male, that would be an adjective. Injured himself, probably concussed. That's describing the injury, so adjective, maybe an adverb. When he was trying his new adjective chin-up bar. I have no quantitative observations. Making observations is not as straightforward as you might think. The mind interprets what we sense. For the following statements, place an O next to observations and an I next to inferences. Go back to blue for this. For the final two, write your own observation inference about the cartoon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the final two because I already have an observation. So there is a chin-up bar. And my inference is a man is injured or concussed. So those are my two inferences. Okay. My one inference and my one observation. So the time of day in the cartoon is unknown. That is an observation. Because we can't tell if it's day or night. The person is wearing shoes and socks. That is an observation. The person pictured as a man. That is an inference, as discussed before. The chin-up bar is set for too high. We didn't read those instructions. That's an inference. The chin-up bar arrived in one package. That one's tricky, but we are not in the room. We did not open that chin-up bar, so I'm going to say inference. The person pictured has less than 20/20 eyesight. Those might not be his glasses. That's also an inference. The person is lying on their back. Well, only his legs are showing, so what if he's sitting up? Maybe he's just halfway through his workout and this was a pre-existing, broken header up here in the door frame. He might be doing his core work right now. The person is lying on their back, so inference. He could be sitting up. The person has sustained an injury, inference. The person is a teenager, that's an inference, and we don't know that. The frame of the glasses is bent. That's an observation. I could easily see that indeed the frames of these glasses are bent. This was the first time the individual used the chin-up bar. That's an inference. Scientists make inferences as they attempt to develop answers to questions about natural phenomena. Even though their answers are not consistent with the evidence available, often no single answer or story solely accounts for that evidence. Nevertheless, as with the case of this cartoon, some inferences are better supported by multiple observations. Create two inferences to explain why the person is lying on the ground. For each inference, provide one piece of supporting evidence. So they don't actually value eyewitness testimony in court cases very much because multiple people can see the same crime but have different accounts of what occurred because everyone's adding their own personal experiences that they've had in the past to what they're seeing. So we're going to kind of create that scenario now. Let's create two totally different situations. So one inference is the man is doing sit-ups as part of his workout. routine. I know this because I see his feet and I also do sit-ups when I work out my arms. Okay, so his feet being pictured as the evidence. So inference, let's see. The next inference is the one that I'm going to stick with earlier. A man is injured. I see his legs, a broken door jamb, and bent glasses. Same evidence supports two different inferences. I see his legs, I see his legs. So you see how that would be kind of bad in a crime case. Indicate which inference is most plausible by marking a star next to it, and what additional evidence exists in it. Okay, so here's the one that's most plausible. I've got to come up with more evidence that works for that cartoon. I already said the broken door jamb. The new evidence I'm going to add here and is what looks like broken debris. So I don't know if that's broken debris, but it looks like it could be broken debris from the door jamb, or it could be coins. I could also go back to this new chin-up bar. So I think I'll go with the chin-up bar. That seems like better. The chin-up bar seems to be new because the box is pictured. Guys, if this activity was kind of fun for you, you might consider a job as a lawyer where you get to manipulate evidence to support your clients. And when I say manipulate, I mean like bring certain evidence to the jury or to the judge so that your case appears to have the bias that you want. Or you might go into forensic science. So you're really having to discern what is actually evidence and what is, you're trying to eliminate inferencing. You're trying to just look for evidence to present to your detectives. Based on the cartoon, write a research question that can be answered in an experiment. How much force does it take to break a door jamb? I have a little bit of construction background just as a teenager, and I know that those door jambs could not have been broken by this guy's head. So I want to know how much force it would take to break that door jamb and how much force your head can sustain without breaking. How much force does it take to break a door jamb? I misspelled break here. Okay. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks so much for your time and for reviewing this assignment. I hope you have a good